Hey folks, it's Maxie here, welcome to another TEW2020 video. You join us on the Impact Wrestling Save for our usual kind of every 6 month analysis of what's happening. There isn't really a script to this one, it's just kind of we'll look for everything, look to see where we are and what we can do. The reason we're on this screen is just I didn't want to spoil straight off the bat who'd won the Wrestler of the Year so far, etc. But you can see there we've got Kingdom Championship of Wrestling that's opened up in Victoria. Tiny company, 700,000, so I'm intrigued to see what they do because financially that's not too far off us, which is quite mental. So we'll just quickly go through the Wrestler of Awards because obviously after this we'll analyse the company we're at the moment. So it was Naito, who is the leader of that at the moment. We have Company of the Year going to New Japan. As you can imagine, it's very Japan dominated. Naito and Shingo Takagi are the Team of the Year so far. Match of the Year went to Naito defeating Minoru Suzuki. Show of the Year so far is the New Beginning in Osaka 2021 show. Young Wrestler of the Year so far is El Hijo del Villano 3. Veteran Tanahashi. Female Wrestler of the Year so far is Alexa Bliss. Independent Wrestler of the Year is El Cuatro, or Cutero, or however you wish to pronounce that. One other thing that you may have noticed here, he's following me everywhere. So if you followed my YouTube channel for a while, for a good couple of years, this man always seems to pop up. Mr. Pavel Kirkin. I'm tempted, you know, I'm tempted to bring him in one of those 3 months deals. One I've just noticed there that we might look at to improve our knockouts division, because obviously I don't think you can really stop improving it. I think you always look to get better. Crazy Mary Dobson returning back from her, well, it says AWOL on this, obviously that would have been her pregnancy. Age, perfect, 27, still plenty years ahead of her, free agent, a lot of good stats there that can certainly be improved upon. Can work on the overness, so I think that's someone we might look at. Wouldn't see them at the next set of tapings because it'll take more than a day for those deals to go through, so you'll be looking, if we do recruit them, for them to be signed on August onwards. So let's look at the company so far then. As I say, we don't have anyone debuting. Oh, we do, sorry, there's a spoiler. We've got Bushi coming in. He has been released by New Japan, and it's just a handshake deal, nothing special. I believe that starts the end of the month, another 12 days, so he won't be available until our next event, but he'll be basically giving us some star power in our X division. I know he's not over in the UK, the US essentially, compared to obviously in Japan, but still hopefully his experience can help develop some of those wrestlers. Another Joshi we brought in is Ram Kiyako. I like the stats. Obviously I don't know anything about her. Joshi's I don't have a clue about. AW was my introduction to them. But I like the look here. I like this kind of face paint, the weirdo gimmick, so I'm like, cool, we'll try and work with that. As I say, a lot of wrestlers I learn about through TW, there's no denying that. Navia, obviously that pregnancy, maternity leave will be in 21 days. And Mystique and Xperia contracts have been offered, as you can see there. Again, just extending those handshake agreements for a wee bit longer. So we'll go through everything bit by bit. Financial touch on first, so you can see there we're making more profit each month. We're closing in $1 million. It's still not quite where I want us to be, because obviously to cancel the TV deal we're on at the moment is 900,000, so it leaves us a bit iffy. Our pay-per-view revenue was down, our ticket sales were down, our broadcast revenue was down from last month, but our sponsorship was up. And actually one reason that we were actually up was due to no fee towards our alliance. Our worker costs were down by 9,000 and our show costs were down by 3,000. So I want to try and be a bit more safer, and I think maybe getting it to 2 million is maybe where we'll look at, and we'll look at cancelling that deal on Access TV. If we quickly look at that one, we're stuck on it for a year and 5 months, and that's us at prime time. Very small. The problem is, being a small company, we're not going to get much bigger than Axis, as I say, in terms of people that will be interested in us. You can see there, tiny, 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 tiny. I think you maybe get small, if you're lucky. Small, very small. I'm wanting medium, so obviously to get that, we would need to become a medium-sized company, and obviously that covers the Fight Network, Sport TV. You know, it's not the greatest exposure, but at least the deals will probably go. That one's worrying, actually. That is very, very worrying. But then the Fight Network covering a lot of places. We should be able to cancel that. 455,000. We can cancel. I'm not going to cancel it just now. It's just if we get a bigger deal down the line, we will seek to cancel that. So, in terms of TV deals, obviously financially it's not sensible to go to 2 shows. We need to, as always, get that to 59. That's it. These places do not matter at the moment. It's strictly just getting the southeast to 59, our home region. If we get that to medium, so 12, we need to get that up. And it's at the ratio it's going at, it's about 1 a month usually, so we would be looking at maybe on the safe side in case of an industry decline or a few pure shows. We may be looking even at October, Bound for Glory 2022. We're in this for the long haul. Let me stress that to you. But I say once we get to medium, I think we can take the company great places. But that's part of the journey, and hopefully you'll join us for that. So other things we can just look at. We'll have a look at creative. So you can see there our main guys, our main 5: Chad Betts, Phoenix, Matt Cardona, Eric Young, Dax Harwood. It's fair enough. That's 5 talented wrestlers. 3 of them permanent members of the roster. Phoenix and Harwood, obviously, EW commitments. Next big thing, Maki Itoy. Obviously, we'll look to bring in a lot of people that can be perceived as the next big thing or a hot prospect. As I say, these younger wrestlers will bring in and try and make impact. I wouldn't say a feeding ground, basically. You know, bringing through that next generation, giving them that exposure that they'd probably be stuck in the performance centre when they can actually get and wrestle on national television. We can see there, Owen Knight, Maki Itoy, Jordan Grace, Delmio Exo, and Ashley Vox. Top mic workers, Enzo, Kurt Angle, EC3. Interestingly, Itoy and Pentagon. So I'm assuming passable English. So once she gets the full English, we'll start giving her promos. So that's good to see. Penta, fluent English. Get them on the mic. Good to see. But you can see there, handshake and everywhere else is written. We basically benefited from the AEW AAA written deals, so none of them was exclusive, so we could go, we'll take them. That's why I do my shows on the Friday, so we can always benefit for that. Showstoppers, and it's fantastic to see Phoenix, Pentagon, Maki Itoy could be massive in the Knockouts division if she constantly pops up here. And Ace Austin and Chris Sabin there. Ace is going to be, no pun intended, an ace in our deck for sure. And on the Ring Generals, best workers, Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood, Phoenix, Eric Young and Eddie Edwards. Fair enough. Running the wave of momentum at the moment, our strongest booking has been Ace Austin, Rosemary, Moose, Matt Cardona and Leo Rush, the 2 champions in there. Quite crazy that Ace Austin's in there with 2 big defeats on pay-per-view, but there you go, that's one of those things. And the people that will be getting big defeats, TJP, Big Kaz, Stu Grayson, Rhino and Heath. And 5 people we should potentially look at, being Chucky T, who's been released from AEW, Shaw Guerrero, FA, Treehouse Lee and Molly McCoy. Is she actually a real wrestler or new gen? She's real. I've learned something today. So in terms of going forward, as I say, we'll stick with Impact Wrestling, the TV tapings for the foreseeable. As I say, once we get to 1,000 fans, I think that's when we'll make the jump to do the weekly shows. The pay-per-views for the rest of the year, we'll have Slammiversary, as intended. We're going to go lockdown in August, so we'll stick with the steel cage theme, if I can remember that. Against all odds, because I feel we can have that kind of, can they make it to Bound for Glory against the odds, so it feels like a good event. Bound for Glory, their version of WrestleMania, turning point, which is obviously, I like the idea of that because it's like the turning point of wrestling. You're changing things around, and then Final Resolution, your last stand of the year effectively. So looking forward to that. I might bring another event for March, so we'll still have the World Cup, but maybe put a second event in there. Times and things can change over time, so we'll see how we go. Pleasantly happy with that. In terms of titles, 47 prestige for our Knockouts Championship, 22 for the Tag Team Championships held by Diona and Kimberly, as that went in terms of prestige. It's up 2, so that'll take a bit of time. Impact Tag Team World Cup, the FTR team have hit 58. Impact World Championship is at 53 over. Thanks to Matt Cardona, its prestige has actually stayed the same. Well, actually dropped and then gained, which is good to see. World Tag Team, FTR have it at 42, and the X Division riding high at 45 prestige, so Leo Rush has done some good things with it, and we'll see how he does as the head of that division. So last but not least, I don't think there's much else I really need to cover, because yeah, it's just a case of persistence, patience and time. So let's just look at our active wrestlers here. Wrestler please. We'll start with our major stars. So you can see here Ace Austin is perceived as a major star. His popularity, I'm mostly going to focus on the US because that's where we're at. 11 gained with Ace, so I think we've booked him strongly. Possibly could be a little bit better, admittedly. Cash 57. I'm not going to worry about the tag team guys so much. Gable, Chad Betts. Roughly 2 over, so he's gained a little bit. Obviously 1 or 2 since he's gained with us. Predominantly would have been with WWE at that time. Which is fine. Dax Harwood 59. Actually curious. He's only gained 3, so he already had an initial decent amount of overness. And you've got Denza, Doc Gallows, Edwards I think will be about the same. But Eric Young, I'm intrigued because we've booked him kind of to win and lose, and he's up 11, so he's been booked very, very strongly. Obviously the small dip there would have been the loss to Rich Swann. Phoenix is sitting at 50, Leo Rush at 48, let's have a look at Leo. 33 over to 48. I'd say that's some successful booking. Matt Cardona's at 52, Matt in the game starts at 45, so that's decent. 7 gained overness, I'll take that on the Impact World Champion. Callahan 51 the house, he went because he's the wins and losses. It's a good gain from 42, it's obviously going to be a gradual build up, but pretty good. And then Slimani in 52 as well. So you'll notice that because of the size of the company, that's what we're kind of at, and we don't really have the size to recruit anything a wee bit bigger. Let's look at stars here we've got there. Ones I really don't have to look at. Joe Doring, this is one I'm so proud of. 6 when we started the save, 39, 40, 42 over. I'm delighted with that. It's just been good booking, kept him looking really, really strong. If there's been any defeats, he has not lost, he's not been pinned. 30 wins, 6 losses. It's always been maybe Eric Young or Ken Shamrock that's been pinned, but delighted to see that. Got Fulton still at 39. Other one I wanted to look at is Thunder Rosa, and she's up from 34 to 41. So amazingly, she is actually way over than Diona, who's not 2 over, which I was quite surprised at. You can see there Big Kaz at the 37s and 38s. Chris Hero just in, Chris Bay. Enzo 43 over. Even Havoc's at a pretty decent amount. But what you'll notice again, still no, despite the good run as champion, Diona Purrazzo, she will be down as just recognisable. But in saying that, she only starts with 25, so she'd gained 5, but then the defeats to Thunder Rosa really saw a decline. She was good in the southeast, even though that's dropped 1, everywhere else she's getting a wee bit over. I think she'll be a work in time. You can see there Makia Toy already up to 24. Not bad. She's gained a good bit of overness over time. I don't know if she's the other bookings in the States, because let's have a look. Impact, DDT list, DDT or TGAPW if it shows that I've broadcast in America, but yeah, delighted with that. So obviously means that we can put her probably close to a title right off the bat. The other one I wanted to look at was Suicide, sorry, that's the one. So obviously when we signed Dario Dominguez, next to no popularity, 2. And we've turned him into 31, 29 over already. It's good progress in 6 months, a long way to go. It would be quite credible to get someone from 1 or 2 over to 100 over. If I could manage that and save, I'd be delighted. And then as we go to unimportant, that'll be your likes of your Bushies in there, which is mental. Dash Chizako, she's had no overness, so she's went from 0 to 10. And that'll be obviously focusing on your Xperia, Shondine, and obviously Ram Chiako. What I've noticed is, with a lot of them, is just the exposure of being on impact and losing 10 overness off the bat. So you get that overness, at least something, straight away just appearing for the company. You'll see there 5 to 10, and he was almost 15 over on the southeast, so he's gained in quite a few regions. So at least if I can do that, maybe give people a bit of exposure, but it's giving them opportunities. But I'll call it there for this video, because I can sense there's going to be some noise in the background. So as always, cheers for watching. We'll be back with our regular scheduled programming of tapings going forward, as we're now on the run to Slammiversary. So thank you very much for tuning in. Good day and good night, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.